What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show, and today we've got something fun that's probably actually going to take several days to get done because we're putting the KLR650 here under the knife. There is a bunch of stuff I need to do to this motorcycle. Specifically, I need to do the 6,000 mile service, and I need to put the DOOHICKEY mod into this bike. It has been a year, and I've been riding around on the stock DOOHICKEY, which is supposed to go bad at about 5,000 miles, so I'm 1,000 miles late on it. We got to get all this done quick, fast, and in a hurry because I am dragging this beast up to the Get On ADV Fest in Sturgis. All the information, by the way, is down in the description below. If you're going to be there, just grab a beer. In the meantime, though, we need to get started because there is so much work to do. Let's see what's on the table and let's just dive into this. Alrighty folks, there is a ton on the table and we have to get through this quick because I need to actually get the wheels off and take them up to Round Rock because my buddy is gonna help me change them. Starting on the right, we have all of the DOOHICKEY stuff. It's actually just one bolt and a couple of parts. The rest of it is gaskets and tools to help me get the job done. Moving on over, we've got some fresh oil. You need to drop the oil to do the DOOHICKEY, so I waited till the next service when I need to drop it anyway. Then we've got something interesting here. So Torque is actually sponsoring this video. They sent me their brake fluid. They were like, dude, we see what you're running in your bikes. You gotta try this stuff out. So they sent me 2 bottles and we're going to see if this thing stacks up to all of the bold claims that they're making. And we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. I do want to see if this is going to make a difference. They really claim that feel is one of the biggest improvements you get when you switch to Torque. So we're gonna try that out. Then moving down the line, we've got some tubes as well as these Mitas E07 tires. These are a 50/50 tire. I've got a D606 on here that has only done about 3,000 miles and is ruined. I'm very interested in finding the right ADV tire for the KLR650. I've changed every single time I've done tires. I've done a different one and I still haven't found one that I love. Now with that being said, we need to take the tires off of this bike, throw them in the Mazda, get up to Round Rock, and hopefully get new rubbers on here. I want to get this all done today, but it's looking kind of doubtful. Let's see how far we get in. Well, we've officially hit the first roadblock. I knew it was coming, but I wasn't expecting to hit it quite so fast. So I don't have a socket big enough for this. While I'm here, I'm actually gonna make sure I have sockets big enough to get the rear tire off because that would be embarrassing to have to go to the auto parts store twice back to back. So let's take a look, shall we? Whoops. Sadly, Advanced Auto has let me down. They only had SAE, not metric, so I picked it up just in case because I gotta get this rim off. Go away, music. I gotta get this rim off, and I'm pretty sure I can do it with SAE, but I'm gonna head over to AutoZone and see if they've got a set of metrics. AutoZone might have had what I needed. I got myself a 14 and a 17. Let's see if we got a winner here. 14 mil, baby. All right. Wheels are off. They're in the back of the car, way back there. But how many of you people were expecting me to forget the tubes? Yeah, no. That's why I've made sure to film this piece to camera so that I would remember to bring them, because knowing me, I would drive all the way up to Round Rock and realize that I forgot the tubes. So, got everything. Let's hit the road. Well, I'm not sure how much of that battle you're going to see, but I think I got to my buddy's place around 1. It is currently 5:12. We were doing battle with that front tire for 4 hours, roughly. And we ended up tapping out. You can actually see over my shoulder. That is the Ride Now Georgetown sign. Because I tapped out. We just couldn't. The Mitas is so tough to get onto the rim. We're just like, fuck it. $50 at a dealership is better than us just crying and complaining. So me mostly doing that. So I am gonna go get some food, and then we're going to do the rear, and then tomorrow I'm gonna come pick this up and, you know, fingers crossed, get the KLR back on its wheels so I can do an oil change tomorrow. Oh, well, good morning. Day 2 out here at the service department at Ride Now Georgetown. We got the tire. Now we got to go home, put it on, and bleed the brakes because I really don't want to dive into the doohickey just yet. But we're running out of daylight and we're running out of time, so I got to get it all done as soon as I can. So back to the house, back to the garage, back to turning wrenches. Oh, well, folks, we're not back in the garage. We're in the office where my desk is full of stuff. And I don't think we're going to get any more progress on the KLR today because I have to deal with the bureaucracy. Yay! Fucking change of address, and post office has no idea where I live anymore, and all of my toll bills are going to the wrong places, so they're all old and out of date. And I got to get this stuff sorted because, you know, I need to be able to receive my mail, and, you know, KLR can wait, I guess. I'll see you tomorrow. Welcome to day 3, where now we have to put the front tire back on. The bureaucracy has been, quelled for a day. Back to work. Oh my God, it should not have taken 3 days for me to get 2 tires onto one motorcycle, but it did, and we finally have it done, which now gives me an opportunity to move on to the next step, bleeding the brakes. Now, Torque sent me their RT700. They're actually sponsoring this video. This brake fluid, it's made in the States for one thing. It's less compressible, super, super important for brakes than the competition, as well as it has a higher reserve alkalinity. Now, that's a big, many polysyllabic word. However, what it means is it doesn't break down the components nearly as bad as other brake fluid, because brake fluid itself by its nature is harsh on materials. It's also going to be able to stay in service longer because it's more stable. So I have a bunch of motorcycles in here. I don't want to have to be managing a bunch of different brake fluids. So that is why this is super, super handy. So we're gonna put this in the KLR. If you're interested in trying this out, click that link down in the description below, and we're gonna see how it feels out on the road.
Alrighty folks, we're actually taking the KLR for a little bit of a spin through the neighborhood. I just wanted to ride it a little bit just to feel the front brake, the rear brake, feel the tires, just kind of make sure that everything with the drivetrain and braking system is working the way it's meant to. And as I come into this stop here, I can definitely feel the difference with that torque fluid in there. It's actually pretty impressive, honestly. The stuff I had in there was not cheap. It was good modal brake fluid, and I can definitely feel a change in the lever feel. It's subtle. It's definitely there though. Ooh, that fresh tire skidding out from underneath me. Yeah, I've got 2 fresh tires on, so perhaps trail braking in the first mile is not exactly the smartest choice. Oh yeah, that front brake. Whew. It feels a lot better than it did with the modal stuff that I had in there. It's got a little bit more nuance to it. And I really like a good single brake finger feel. I am definitely going to be switching over all the bikes to that torque. I want to get them all switched out while I've got that bottle open. So that'll be tonight's project. But in the meantime, I'm going to gas this bike up, bring it back to the garage, and then it's oil change and doohickey time, baby.
All right, folks, we're back, and now it is officially time to do the doohickey. I have the bike on the stand. I need to drain the oil. I'm letting it cool down just a little bit. It's not super duper hot in there. It's only 181 degrees still. I'm gonna let it come down a bit because it's so hot outside. I don't wanna be dealing with scalding hot oil. Yay! I did it without spilling any on the ground. Yes! Oh, that feels so good. No, don't burble on the ground. Stop it. I was just bragging about how good I did. Nothing major on there. Looking good and clean. That's a good sign. always a little bit more oil in there. So, I let the bike cool down, and now it is time to actually get in and open up the side of the engine here. Get the doohickey done. It's not that difficult, it's just a slow process. I need to pull off a bunch of stuff and then drill one hole and make sure I don't drop anything into the motor, because that can cause pain and sadness. So I'm gonna slowly start pulling stuff off the bike, and I don't know, hopefully this doesn't take too terribly long. Okay, now this panel comes off. God damn it. Yay. Okay. Rotor puller, rather. Something doesn't feel right, so I'm gonna stop and give this a think before I go any further. Okay, so I cracked it loose. Had to double check. So if you're out there and you got a KLR, Ian over at Big Rock Moto went and actually talked to Eagle Mike and had him do the whole process on camera. This is a awesome resource. Huge shout out to Ian and Eagle Mike for putting this together, because you're gonna need it. So now we run this rotor puller out and we pull the rotor away. Oh, and there, we lost the Woodruff key. Oh, I see it, I see it, I see it. It is endlessly frustrating to me that after all these years, Kawasaki still hasn't upgraded this, and I have to do it. So let's see here. I haven't adjusted my doohickey in many miles at this point. So I'm gonna crack this bolt loose and we're gonna see if my doohickey moves. Yeah, it moved. So what we're seeing here, this is a 6,000 mile bike. The doohickey should be over here. Should be way back up there. But we're already at almost the end of the travel on the doohickey. So in case you're curious what's going on here, this is the cam chain. This is actually what runs the valves and times everything. This is the counterbalancer chain right here. And you can actually see the counterbalancer right there. There's rubber lining each one of these, and this is the first wear point on the doohickey. When you run into issues, you're gonna wear out this, because you're not gonna be putting enough tension on the chain. It'll start slapping around. At least that's my understanding. So the fact that we're almost run out of travel on the doohickey after 6,000, like, that's where it needs to be. I just moved it even more. We're almost spent on doohickey travel. That's no good. So now we need to pull all this out, and basically we're gonna remove this cover, and we're gonna remove the doohickey, and we're gonna need to get to this spring in here, and we need to drill a hole in this case. So let's keep moving. There it goes. Ta-da! I didn't lose anything! Yay! Yay! This right here is the problem. So this spring is what causes KLR doohickeys to fail, because it's not pulling hard enough on that. So that's what the torsion spring is all for, because this is basically out of adjustable space. It's still got some life in it, but really not much. I bet you with my multi-tool I can get that out with little consternation. Let's see here. Yep, came right out. Okay, now comes the part where I have to actually drill into this case. And so this is the 6 o'clock orientation right here. This is 6 and 12. He wants it drilled at about 5 or 5:30, according to the paper. And he actually included a little drill bit, which is nice. So I'm gonna measure this carefully by eye, which is kind of an ironical statement. And vaya con Dios, baby. And there she blows, little hole. I'm gonna go blast this down with some brake cleaner real fast so I don't have any parts in my engine. Okay, now we gotta put the inner case back in. Moment of truth. We're good. I'm gonna let it run. I'm gonna go stand outside. I've got a fan going in the background, so it'll blow all this out. Well, everybody, 3 days and several hours later, I would call this probably a dozen working hours later, I have finally finished prepping the KLR650 here for battle up in Sturgis. Just in time too, because on Wednesday I need to leave. I'm currently filming this on Thursday, 6 days out. So I have to continue prepping the van in a hurry But you know what? This feels good. KLR feels ready for round 2 in Sturgis. And if you guys are going to be out at Get On, come find me. Let's drink a beer or something. Commiserate about how much work this was. I'm sure it was a thrilling video if you're stuck here till the end. Anywho, don't forget to check out the sponsor for today's video, RT700 by Torque. I've been riding around. I've done a couple little laps around my neighborhood, just being happy with the KLR now that it's done. And I actually seriously do feel a difference. I got these brakes good and hot, got them working pretty good, and it's pretty impressive. This is definitely the stuff I'm going to be keeping on the shelves and putting in all of my motorcycles. So that's about the highest praise I can give it. So if you want to check some out for yourself, click that link down in the description below. And in the meantime, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. I'm gonna go take a shower. I'm gonna go eat something. I'm gonna go to sleep. Bye.